As we mentioned, Anti-MagE, I
Yes.
think he's in the game every time.
It's going to be like that. So, fourth pick, I think, bat for Anti-MagE, or, maybe a Centaur, something along those lines. Utility, tanky, goes
Centaur's
into the
banned.
front lines. Yeah, you're right, never mind. But third pick for Chaos, it's like, it feels like it's a toss-up between like a Lion Shadow Shaman kind of hero. The ability to have multiple forms of lockdown and kill threat with the Ancient Apparition, or like an Earthshaker tiny kind. Oh, Mars. Okay, sick. Yeah, so you've got a way to activate the AA and DP now. Displacement through the spear in early laning phase to help Spirit Siphon and Crypt Swarm from the DP get kills, and mid to late game you'll have that, Mars Arena with the Ice Blast on top to open up kills across the map.
So is that Mars a position for Mars then, like what we're seeing here in EU? I guess
It's
a flex,
up.
but...
Exactly, it's up in the air right now. It's not giving away anything. This could be 3, could be 4. I feel like it's safer to assume it's 4, but I think it's probably a coin flip between the two right now. They're not set in stone one way or the other.
Yeah, it depends on what Anti-MagE runs for these lanes. If Mars can really run down the lane and take advantage of this. I mean, with the DP, I don't mind the Mars in the core position, because they're usually very early game oriented. Clockwork,
Ooh.
he's been picking up some steam, especially in EU. I saw him picked up a couple times in CIS. Non Grata quite likes the Clockwork. And the offlane position, interestingly enough.
That was one of his. I mean, that was one of his like signature heroes.
Yeah.
He rose to fame on for sure. So it's not a massive surprise to see him bring it back. Being put in the hands of general hero, I assume, going into that off lane, right?
Yeah.
That is a utility hero. That is a gap close, a catch and kill hero for sure. There's the Anti-MagE, which we expected to come out against Anti-MagE.
This is gonna be so confusing now when we cast it. People are not gonna understand. I knew this was gonna happen. I mean, you pick up
So
Storm though, so.
Yeah, you pick Storm first
Crystal,
phase. You
actually.
expect this to come.
He's a really good hero against what Anti-MagE is running in general.
Yeah. I assume they don't want to go bat there because of counter. Like, you expect the AM, so you don't want to go bat because of counter spell in the mid game. I don't know if Clockwork puts as much pressure. Like, he definitely doesn't put as much laning pressure as like a Bat Rider would do, though. So this is much more focused around that 10 to 20 minute period. That's your space creator. Clockwork has to have, some level of itemization, whether it's phase, bracer, bottle, or wand, or whatever. He needs that level of items at like 10 minutes to go and make plays, find kills with your SD and Crystal Maiden. But more importantly, you need to defend your towers. That's what Clock is great at doing. Zoning out mid lane, for example, with Cogs, creating havoc on any of the side lanes with Rocket Flare to scout into a hook shot to catch kills. Clockwork is very good at disrupting pushes or initiations coming in from, say, a Mars or an AA with an exorcism that's already flowing.
That's true. I also very much like the Clockwork combination with the OD or the Shadow Demon, because they have that kind of setup which allows you to do the cogs and they just can't get away. It's a fantastic setup, actually. It used to be seen a lot when Clock was 4. You used to pick OD and then Clock would just gank your lane and win every single time. It was a fantastic combo. It works really nicely here. They do decide to put it that way. You have a more kill potential lane. If you put it with a Crystal Maiden, you also have some harassment. I guess it depends on what Anti-MagE is thinking of. You definitely cannot leave the Clockwork alone, though, here. I don't think that's ideal, especially against an Anti-MagE. You want to put some pressure there. We have seen a lot more tri-lanes going on, these qualifiers. It's starting to come back slowly. Much more of the sacrificial 3. What's Chaos running, then? So the Anti-MagE think... Actually, that Phoenix could also be a 4-3. We've seen it in both positions recently. A Dark Willow. So Mars offlane with Dark Willow. That's a really good combination. I love these.
I mean, it's a really nice draft from Chaos in general, right?
Yeah.
We saw this trio of heroes from Arkan City just in the previous game. Oh, no, we didn't. We saw the duo, AA and Dark Willow. They were against a Mars, but now we're going to see it with a Mars, which amplifies it significantly. Arena of Blood with Terrorize, with Ice Blast, the AoEs, circle on top of circle on top of circle. It's like a Venn diagram of gorgeousness. You blast people into oblivion. I love circles. And triangles.
Triangle. Yeah. That's blasphemy.
Geometry, no, it's any form of geometry. Dota is all about geometry. You've got circle abilities, you've got triangle parts of the map. It's all beautiful.
I regret mentioning this. This is the insanity that we always get into every single cast.
Yeah.
The Weaver is the last pick for Anti-MagE. Okay. So, what I'm seeing here is an incredibly frail lineup, actually, by Anti-MagE. As you catch them in a single one of your stuns, I guess your catch for Chaos is a bit limited, but you catch any one of them in a Terrorize, if the Cold Feet triggers by some godly miracle, they're done. Well, you have enough damage with any of your heroes to destroy them. But they also have a lot of burst damage themselves, which is particularly good against Death Prophet, it's particularly good against the Anti-MagE. I don't actually know what lineup I prefer, honestly, seeing these two drafts. I think Anti-MagE's lineup is they have a good synergy. They have a clear game plan, but it's also a bit riskier than Chaos, which is much more traditional, and it's a nice transitional lineup, right? Create space for your Anti-MagE, Anti-MagE wins game, easy.
Yeah, I think it's you know, sometimes we get kind of trapped and stuck in these thought processes, but in this situation, I think it's pretty fine to look at Chaos Esports as a very linear, you know, reasonably easy to execute draft, as long as their lanes don't completely crumble. So Anti-MagE's game plan really does have to be lane pressure, try and force DP, AM, Mars to have bad games, because like you're saying, they have these 3 cores which play off each other. You're looking for the early DP and Mars timings with kind of Soul Ring Blink on Mars, DP with, you know, Double Null Yule Scepter, for example, and they move around the map with a level 6 AA holding a lane, a Dark Willow smoked with them, and they find team fights, you know, 3 or 4 versus however many Anti-MagE put up against them, and the AM's farming away in the jungle. So that's the paradigm under which that team's going to be playing, so it's really down to Synderen and their stack to unsettle and upset that rhythm. Get up in their faces. Clockwork Weaver, both exceptionally good at playing that, you know, in and out game style, the guerrilla tactics. You're very, very adept here. Storm Spirit as well. You know, you are highly maneuverable. You can play across the map. You can play wide map here. Look for pickoffs on the AM before he gets Battle Fury Manta. Chat wheel voices are louder than I am.
It's okay, my Dota died there a bit, so we didn't hear most of the chat wheels. It's all good.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So the one big, maybe, challenge I see here for Team Anti-MagE is their lack of team fight. They're very good at, you know, solo individual pickoffs. Their lanes look decent enough. They're good at creating chaos, but they don't have overwhelming 5v5 team fight, whereas Chaos most certainly do. So it will end up very likely being this kind of big map versus small map, where Chaos are grouped up, like they are now even, smoked up as 4, looking for kills. This is what's going to happen throughout the majority of the game, and we're already starting off early looking for a pickoff, which it looks like they will not find.
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Maybe the Crystal Maiden might still walk into them. They are hiding right behind them. It is a very aggressive ward, by the way. We've seen this ward in the opposite, in the offlane position. Here in the Radiant is more rotational. You're not rarely going to find someone there. Oh, the Crystal Maiden into the low ground. She is quite slow, 277 movement speed. Can they catch up to her? Everyone's dancing. But there's not going to be a dance of death, as they're just going to be okay with just taking a couple runes. In fact, yeah, gonna be a bit of a rune trade here. There's the Bramble Maze, trying to actually get one up on the runes. They will, no, just trade runes. It's no big deal. No kill either. Yeah. Unfortunate for Chaos.
2 for 2. Easy peasy. They can't leave the AM top here, can they?
Alone against the clock. Not bad as that matchup, to be honest. You go for, like, point of mana break.
If you go mana break level 1, and like Battery Assault doesn't do anything in creep wave, Cogs doesn't do anything against AM, but I just think that like Clockwork with a Quelling Blade, he's annoying as hell.
Oh, they heard you. They're like, yeah, this Gareth guy, he's right. He has a point. Let's move our AA up top. But Clockwork's gonna have a tough time. I know that there's much more of this solo offlaner going on recently, but as I was mentioning in the draft, but I don't love leaving the Clockwork alone. If anything, you can force out a kill against the AA, and that's only if Misery is out of position.
Oh, like, just to expand on what I was saying, like, it's not as if the Clockwork would win the lane against the AM. It's about those timings again, right? If you give the Clockwork, you know, a mediocre to decent lane, if it's like satisfactory for him level-wise, he gets, you know, 10 CS in the first 4 minutes or whatever, that's fine by him. As long as he hits 6 pretty early on, he's fine. Bottom lane, a bit of aggression. Looks like Weaver's fine to Shikuchi on out.
But this is a scary lane. This bottom lane is much more kill potential. Sorry, if you wanted to finish talk about Clockwork, please. Too.
No, it's just they want to give AM the perfect game, and they want to try and shut down General, because General's that mid-game tempo setter. He's the one that has to go and do everything in the mid-game, because Storm's going to be in the jungle, Weaver's going to be, you know, fighting with you, but Crystal Maiden and Shadow Demon are going to be very much left in the lurch if the Clockwork doesn't have a good laning stage.
That's true. They do rely on the Clockwork on being much more of a space creator, but his itemization is not that important as much as him getting a couple levels, being able to sap that experience from the lane, early hookshot him into a battery assault. And they're actually going to try to play a bit aggressively against General, just trying to force him out, not being experience range ideally, but General's quite tanky himself, so not the easiest of plays. Also, AM loses all his damage once you have no mana. So you can actually play aggressively just with your stats here. And Clockwork has a decent attack damage, even despite the, well, I mean, long nerfs.
See, like, even with the AA here, he's 5 and 2, he's level 3, and he's annoying. You know, he's pestering you non-stop. Imagine if the AA is not there. Clock would have a decent time against the AM, for sure. So this leaves Storm in a 1v1 natural against the DP. Very even farm trade. Storm is 3 CS ahead. Storm will start to maybe crack up a lead a little bit against Matumba Man in the coming minutes, as he does hit level 4. Extra Remnant, extra Overload. Really does help out your laning stage significantly. But I think bottom lane is really where we keep our eyes on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping my eyes up on top because General and Misery are having a bit of a fight here. And VT Faded joins in. He's not gonna let his support die alone. General will actually go down to Misery.
Oh wow.
That's the first blood for the Ancient Apparition. Played a bit too aggressively as Clockwork. I mean, it was okay. He was playing like you were saying with the stats, but Ancient Apparition deals a lot of damage as support. You have to be a bit careful.
Yeah. Misery popped his Mango there to get a level 2 chill. Like, he's gone level 2 Chilling Touch.
That's rare.
that's how he's playing this lane. He popped his Mango to get it out, get an extra bit of damage going. So I was gonna say Misery here. We're gonna see how much he's changed over the years, because getting 750 gold, or not getting, but having 750 gold at like 3 minutes. In previous patches, he would have gone Hand of Midas on his AA for sure, but he's gone Boots, he's gone Observer Wards, he is being a support.
Don't recommend that to people, you know. This is gonna start happening in pubs. Always go wards.
Midas.
Always wards. Don't play that Chinese CM, you know. Remember when that was the meta? Ooh, that was something else. But now it's back to the same thing again. Try to reduce his mana. It's only level 1 mana break. Reduce the Clockwork's mana. Don't let him use his Battery Assault. CM Aura kind of helps against that, to be honest. And reduces effectivity in lane. Proceed to kill him if he plays a bit too aggressively. It's kind of a boring lane, to be honest, for Chaos. It's quite methodical. Just keep doing it over and over. And neither team should be too bothered by this. How about the bottom lane? Is the kill potential here for the tri lane that AM is running?
They've been trying, but Milan has been towing the line really carefully, not getting stacked up with poison, not allowing Syndrome to catch him. Kezu has been that front line tanking up the majority of the onslaught. So even though they've been playing this 2 versus 3, Kezu sat at 15-1 CS. Milan is closing in on level 3. The Radiant supports are stacking and pulling, so it's pretty comfortable. It feels like for both sides. You do have to remember though that they are in a 3v2. So experience-wise in the long term, going to go the way of the Dire.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a team fight here, though. Again, it's just the constant disengage that both Mars and the Dark Willow have. It's very difficult to catch up to them. They have the Spear of Mars and the Bramble Maze if you're trying to. Mars is also, as you mentioned, very tanky. He goes for the point and bulwark, which we've been seeing more and more often now for the offlane Mars. And, I mean, they're getting not the best farm, though, but they're beating the Clockwork, which is expected. Here we go.
Yeah.
Disruption. No. Disruption into nothing. There's just no follow-up. What do you do against Mars? He's way too tanky.
Oh, mid lane?
Wow. Just barely caught that. He's gonna dive for this? No? Sucking off the catapult? Not good enough. I think he was trying to survive there.
Yeah, stick ready in another 3 seconds. Didn't have a like if he had a salve or a fairy fly coming on that courier, I was about to scream. It was so close. And he gets a solo kill on the Storm. Storm not quite level 6, so that's how it happens. Storm Spirit. I mean, what is he? 40 XP away from hitting 6? That's pretty tragic.
Oh, that's timing for you, man. Matumba Man calculated that. He knew. Specifically for that, because it adds extra tilt, right? Psychological damage, which is even more important than gold. And honestly, the Death Prophet, it's a pretty nice lane matchup against the Storm. If he does overextend, you can punish him quite easily. He usually stays quite close to the creep lane. Spirit Siphon punishes that quite nicely. Up top though, catching the AA with a Frostbite. The creeps join in, not really helping out General. General might die because of this. Those creeps super annoying. Gets a couple lucky battery assaults though. But in turn, he might die to VT Faded. They're chasing after him. Blink ready in 2 seconds. General trying to run for his life. Nah, doesn't turn in time. VT Faded will get that kill.
How does battery assault hit the hero? Like, with 3 creeps around. Man, General, very skilled with the battery assault focus fire.
He just gotta...
loses his life though.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a win for Chaos, honestly. You do beat the AA, but you rotate a CM in the process, right? So you take away some tension from the bottom lane, and you get an offlane kill, or an offlaner death, which Anti-MagE takes. which he's very happy about, obviously.
Yeah. VT Faded right now is 50 and 24. His net worth is nearly 4,000. 7.5 minutes in, he's gone for the Treads double Wraithband and then into Battle Fury. So he's gone for more of a laning and stay on the map build here, as he's going to try and tango a tree. Synderen getting bullied back by Misery. Mid lane again, though, a battle between Matomaman and Mage. This is a close fought skirmish in that mid lane. Storm Spirit forced to zip away to break the Spirit Siphon, though.
Well, he has to start doing that until Matomaman gets a level of silence. There's no real kill potential here. He is holding on to 1 point, though. Wondering if he's going for Exorcism, maxing out Spirit Siphon, or even that point in silence if necessary. Unless a miscount. No. He's definitely holding on to it.
Yeah, he has a point remaining.
Good. Thank you for confirming that. Always the fear when you can't really tell. Oh, what is Milan doing, though? He's waiting for his teammates, actually, to initiate. And they do get to the shrine in time. Good reflexes there on the storm, evading the bramble maze.
Matu leveled the silence.
He
So they
did.
have that high ground ward. They wanted to try and catch with a maze, then hit with a silence, then follow through with a spear or a catch there. Doesn't quite work out. Quick reactions from Mage to get away with that Storm Spirit. As Matomaman, very fortunately for him, grabs a regen rune straight back into the mid lane, denying the bottle refill on Storm Spirit. Look how much damage Matu pumps out in a matter of seconds. Mage just cannot withstand that kind of damage.
Now you can even pump out the silence sometimes. Like, I guess he hasn't shown that reveal that he's put a point in it, so maybe he's keeping it. But you can pump out the silence, force out the ball lightning, take away some of Mage's mana. If you want to play
Storm can hover over it, right?
Well, that still work? I thought they patched that.
Does it not work anymore?
I honestly can't tell you. I know it used to work. If people don't know.
We'll move on quickly. No, shush, don't say anything.
Okay. Don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, here the Matomaman definitely does have kill potential, but only if Mage is a bit slow on his ball lightning, or if he makes a mistake. Probably not going to happen here for Mage. It's a comfort pick here. There's a reason they picked him Storm as second pick. He's aware of this matchup. He's going to let the Matomaman go to the jungle now.
VT Faded back in the jungle as well. Got the Ring of Health, farming through some little creeps. So we start to get into that period of the game where this, the Anti-MagE versus Storm duality, right? If Storm's out of mana and AM has a mana void, Storm's dying. But if Storm's able to actually build up fast enough and scale before the AM does into that kind of, early Orchid, the Kaya into Orchid, before Battle Fury Manta, Storm Spirit can destroy this Anti-MagE in that mid-game. Oh, nice block on the hook shot. Nicely done by Misery.
Yeah, but Misery does tank that gank. However, very much worth it. Considering Naive also came in to join in and get that kill on the AM. They get a tower in the process, perhaps? No, they don't have enough damage. Synderen trying out with his Crystal Main, like, guys, I deal some damage.
It's so important that Misery dies there and not the AM.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're
AM
in
can just go in jungle. Like exactly, AA respawns in like 12 seconds.
And he's useful from the base as well with his Ice Blast. He's actually one of the best heroes to sacrifice, I would say, out of the supports. You don't really need that much. You need that Ice Blast. Once you got it, you're good. Like, this is your game. Now you buy wards all game. Obviously,
is
Axe
this what you
is
tell
nice.
yourself when you're playing Drow Ranger and you feed and lane and you just sit in Fountain saying, I'm useful with Aura?
Yeah, well, that's how I play Drow Ranger. It's called Fountain Ranger. That's my strategy.
Nice.
General.
That's pathetic.
He's gonna find Misery here, dividing the battery assault between two. General, careful, still has the cogs. But he's playing around with the battery assault. VT Fade having a bit of trouble getting to him. Ice Vortex, but VT Fade is tired. He's done chasing this Clockwork around. He goes back to farming, but acknowledges that someone here is taking away his stacks. It's the Weaver with that Shikuchi.
I mean, you can see what this clock is able to do, right? That's why it's such a nice pick. It's that Chaos Creator. His lane has gone decently enough that he's, level 6. He's got an urn. He'll have Tranquil Boots soon. And he's just going to run around the map, absolutely pumping into people wherever he can. Looking for solo pickoffs on the AA, looking to try and maybe catch the Dark Willow or the DP. You need to really be enabling this Storm Spirit and Weaver right now. Storm likely going to be just sat in the jungle, but Weaver playing forward like this will be the aggressor.
Oh. And again, Misery tanks again. This time it wasn't to save his AM, but just to himself die, playing that Fountain Ancient Apparition. He's having a bit of trouble here, Misery, but he's just the easiest kill for Clockwork. Clockwork is looking for the easiest kills right now with a hook shot to just get those early items on. Ideally the Spurred Vessel, probably. Force Staff, I'd like to see this game as well. No big deal though. You just need those early items to have impact, as you mentioned. Create chaos, and that's it. You don't really need to be position 3 for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Blade Mail is really valuable this game as well.
True.
Against DP, Dark Willow, Ancient Apparition, even Mars to a large extent. Lots of uncontrollable spill damage from Chaos in this game.
Oh, bottom lane though, these are just 2 supports. There's no way you're killing Kezu. The items though you mentioned, or that we mentioned, I guess, are all very cheap though. So Clockwork doesn't quite need to work hard to get them. And now in the bottom lane, Kezu will find Synderen. Oh, that disruption giving him a bit of time, but I think Synderen is dead anyway. Perhaps not. They actually get Kezu in the process. Kezu saved by a Terrorize. And now even the cold feet that triggers. Here comes a storm, slow ball lightning, but good enough as Mage goes for 2. Ideally killing Mizra. He's out of mana though, can't ball lightning anymore. And he's done with his zip zapping. Everyone's just TP back home.
That was a perfect zip from Mage. Like, he zipped 3,000 range and landed exactly on the Mars's head as he dipped into the jungle. Really nicely placed. Mid
lane, they forced the time lapse and almost killed this Weaver, by the way. Just with Exorcism forced out. And there's a fight still going on. As General chasing after Milan, creating that chaos we were talking about. But General, this time he bit off a bit more than he could chew. Gets punished for it by Matumba, man.
Yeah, not ideal. Not the best place to be as that Clockwork. You know, your Storm can't really follow through. Your Shadow Demon's not in position. But that's General's role. Occasionally he's going to be in these weird positions where you think he's having a bit of a feed, but that's just where he needs to be to make the plays from. You know, he needs to be under fog in these unusual angle situations where he can sidle in to the team fights without his opponents expecting it coming.
Oh wait, look at the Matumba man's build. He's actually rushing the eggs as opposed to getting the usual Yule Scepter. Just straight eggs.
We've seen this a couple of times. I know for a fact G and a couple of other mid laners have tried this out as well. Double null you need. Yule Scepter you don't necessarily need unless there's, you know, a guaranteed silence or a stun you need to disjoint, for example. In this game, there's not really that much he has to worry about until Storm has like an Orchid. So rushing the Ags here is going to obviously increase his own strength without needing a defensive item.
Okay, on the top lane, they're going for DNZ. Here they catch him. Matumba man might go down because of this though, but Terrorize gives him a bit of space, and now the Clockwork in trouble as Mage joins into this fray, but he's out of mana, has to zip zap to the low ground now. Mage fighting to the end. Mage harassed by the anti-mage, about to go down, but in comes the freezing field. The last hit they needed for VT faded. Matumba man kills off Mage with a Crypt Storm as Naive, hoping to get this final kill on Matumba. All he needs is a Gemini attack, stolen by Synderen.
Where was Kezu?
Where was Kezu?
He had maybe his TP was on cooldown. I clicked on him a little late there, but he didn't join the fight. That was a 5v4 that Chaos walked into with only 4 people available. Kezu not there, no arena, no nothing. And it turned into these kind of 1v1s and 2v2s where AM and DP were catching one hero. The Ancient Apparition got zoned out by, you know, the Weaver and the Crystal Maiden coming in. What a hectic team fight though. You gotta say, like, Storm Spirit dying in that, DP, AM dying in that. It all became a bit of a mess towards the end.
It was a mess. I wasn't quite sure what they were... I don't think Anti-Mage knew what they were doing. Were they retreating? Were they fighting? Oh, now they're definitely fighting. Mage zipped in, trying to kill the Dark Willow. Receives a fair amount of damage. Is forced to zip out. And I don't think they can continue this. No. They gotta catch him with a lucky silence, and it's a bit difficult. Matuma does have the Exorcism level 2, though, if they want to take down this tower. From behind, General doing his antiques. He's just annoying them. He's level 7, though. General's actually kind of falling behind.
His antiques.
What? Antics? Damn it. Second language. Who knows?
I only make fun of you when it's funny.
English is a hard tongue, okay?
It is.
No comprendo, señor. I'm sorry.
Oh, dear me.
There's just some words you read that you never pronounce out loud that you mention in the cast. You shouldn't have done that. Fear onto the Weaver. This could be a trouble. They actually spear him to the wall. Fantastic. They caught him with the Terrorize from the fog, right? There, Milan?
Yeah, Terrorize, Cold Feet, and then the Mars ulti on top. Nice little pick off on the Weaver. Super important to stem the flow and deal with this Radiant side who have been hyper aggressive. I'll tell you now, I'm a native speaker, right? And epitome. I had never heard it out loud when I was like 15, 16 years old. And I'd always thought it was pronounced epitome.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I start talking to my history teacher. I'm just like, yeah, that's the epitome of something. And he just looks at me and goes, you're an idiot.
That's
I
exactly.
had no idea. Like, why have I made you angry? What has heated you up so much? Like, it's epitome, and I just go, oh god, yeah, okay.
That's very aggressive though for a word, man. I like to laugh better. At least you laugh at me. Don't be aggressive. Kill the Shadow Demon here. I think he's actually showing off his axe. Matumba Man with a support kill. General in the midst of the enemy team. He's just chilling about in the enemy side of the map. Not too concerned about his own life. He might even find a kill against Matumba in the process. He has hookshot ready. Misery blocks that potential hookshot again. Misery, but Mage comes in, hoping to kill Matumba Man still. With a root up, Mage could be in trouble. They manage to stun him out. Yes, they do, but he's actually out of danger. As General still trying to kill Matumba Man. Matumba Man will get away. There's the freezing field just to destroy Milan. The spear to stop the freezing field, but they kill him off with the auto attack. Synderen, another kill. He's actually unstoppable. Synderen just stealing kills left and right, man. This guy.
Man, he's 604 on this maiden.
This maiden is god.
Double bracer, glimmer cape,
Oh,
crown.
wait.
He is so tanky right now.
No, that's impossible. Battery Assault no longer stops the blink, right? Like, if you hit him, you have time to blink away from Battery Assault, right?
Yeah, the cast point is such that AM can blink out.
Okay.
Like, Queen of Pain can get stuck, but there's like, you know, like 0.2 of a second or something where you can time it. AM is much easier than that.
I know that sometimes, like, you'll watch a Clockwork attacking a Jakiro, and then you'll see just the poor Jakiro having a seizure, because he can't use a single one of his spells because of the cast points.
Earthshaker was always the best one, right? Where he's doing his totem dance.
Oh, yeah. And he just Echo Slams at the end. I'm done. Oh, Matumba Man, he's about to die, but they have no more damage. A Terrorize. A bit of space. Matumba Man will get that health back soon. The Arena Mark's been committed here for General and Synderen, taking the unstoppable creep for Kezu. As Naive is now fighting against Milani. Time lapses before the Curse Crown actually hits, and they miss the spear as well. They don't hit him with a dust either. From behind, Mage does get the kill on Milan, but he's been silenced. VT Fade is joining here, trying to take away some mana. The Ball Lightning will save him. There's that blink. Oh, Mage actually went into the trees. He played with him, and now he goes away. DNZ giving a bit of space, though, with a disruption. Very well played there.
And there we see why it's much harder for the Radiant to fight the 5v5, right? Super hard for them to go into this Ice Blast arena with that exorcism flowing. They can't really find an angle in as long as Chaos plays super tight, and that's what we expected. The super small map from Chaos playing as 4. I did not expect, however, how active this Anti-MagE would be. They are very often playing into the areas of the jungle that he's farming and defending him with their 4-man kind of gank squad, which is always nice to see. Still down to this team Anti-MagE, though, to try and defeat the Anti-MagE by playing aggressively and not stopping. That move into the jungle might have...
Oh, what a counter spell. Did you see that? And now he gets the illusions. I've never seen that. Anti-MagE gets some illusions here to play with. And they kill DNZ. Freezing Field on his own him out. Another great Freezing Field by Synderen. Kezu losing most of HP. Here comes Mage. They have to kill Kezu in time. DNZ still surviving thanks to that Glimmer Cape. They actually force Anti-MagE away. And Kezu's now fighting in his own arena. But he's going to find the 2 kills thanks to the Matumba Man help as well. From behind, they were chasing after the Anti-MagE. They do catch him in the process. Mage now going for the Dark Willow. Milan, sorry, close to dying. There's the Ice Blast, surprising Mage and killing him off as Milan denies himself. And General, now alone against 2, the help from Naive to get the kill on Matumba Man. They should still be able to do this. Matumba Man alone against the Weaver cannot exterminate the insect. Naive kills him off. That goes for Anti-MagE? No.
I mean, the
know.
DP and the AM both died. The Weaver survived. Storm
So-
Spirit is playing this super selfless, I'm going to commit for kills, I don't care. But as you can see, the kind of team fight devolve into insanity and chaos. Team Chaos actually start to struggle once they don't have Exorcism and Mars Arena. That's kind of why I wanted Team AM to go and play into the same spot they did before. When Exorcism is down, the Dire team, they do lack that team fight presence of the Death Prophet, and they do miss it quite significantly. Still, Storm Spirit having some struggles sticking onto a target and sticking around in fights. He can jump in, but he can't really jump out again. Now he does have that Orchid and Kaya, though, so kill threat is advanced by the Storm, but AM already has that Manta style. So we've got the counter on the counter already up. So likely Storm will be hunting the AA, the Willow, the backlines here of the Radiant team.
Oh, there's the smoke from AM. What's the goal here? You don't want to go from low to high. Chaos might actually find you in a better position. They do scan them out. They acknowledge this. Okay. It's going to be Naive as the front runner. Chaos actually, I don't know if they're wise of this. Oh, they catch again Misery. But Kezu comes in with the Arena Blood. The BKB stop the Spirit of Mars. And now it's time for Naive to keep on the fight. It's him alone against Matu. He actually forces everyone out. Kezu not really helping against him. Naive against the world, and he's dealing so much damage to most of Chaos. As they divide this team fight, they also force away the AM. Naive now finally silenced. He can't time us away. Do they have the damage to kill him off? They've actually speared him into the root, but he's fighting to the death and gets the kill on Kezu finally as Matuman dies in the background. With Mage still chasing after them. Has the ball lightning. But find the Dark Willow. Milan playing with fire. He's going to go down to the Rocket Flare. A really well played team fight there by Anti-MagE. Actually, the scan saved them there, I'm pretty sure. And Naive being God there with Diffusal Blade and BKB. Unstoppable. He's not going to find VT faded, but still very well played there by Anti-MagE.
Oh, super well played. The way they're peeling away from these team fights, dragging the Anti-MagE to chase the Storm, making sure that he doesn't get the kill, trying to grab him and shove him off to the left-hand side, and at the same time, the Weaver is hunting down the DP. Team Anti-MagE, they've got this, locked down pat. It looks really good. Their target acquisition has been on point. The Clockwork, the Shadow Demon, they're both acting as these kind of save heroes. The Cogs are disrupting any kind of initiation onto the Storm Spirit. Disruption is obviously there to try and get illusions of the AM, but it's also, defensively natured to make sure that if someone's trapped in the arena or if they're silenced by the DP, you've got a backup plan and a route of escape. It's really nice to watch. They know for sure they can't, go head on head against Chaos. Exorcism wasn't used in that fight, and that is something that does have to be remembered. But look at this, they are aggressive and ballsy.
Yeah, and with this, they'll find Kezu. This time they will complete the kill before Chaos can help him. And it's these kind of kills that take advantage of your Clockwork. Oh, wow.
Like, Weaver is immediately there, Shikuchiing forward to try and catch any stragglers. This is how aggressively they're playing, and they know they've, basically broken the back of Chaos at this point. They've got lanes pushing in. We're still waiting for the Anti-MagE to hit his critical mass. So this is the window of the game that's opening up for Team Anti-MagE, where Mage, oh my god, there's Anti-MagE the team, there's Anti-MagE the hero, and there's Mage the player. My brain is starting to melt a little bit here. But no.
Why do you think that Anti-MagE is called Anti-MagE? Is a pun on Mage.
God damn it. So Weaver and Storm are bouncing off of each other really nicely here. Able to actually itemize forwards. Weaver goes for that BKB so he can frontline. Clockwork with the Blade Mail now completed is an absolute pest.
I mean, yeah, general, his impact has been, look, I was talking about this earlier, right? He transitions from position 3 early on, sort of, really, because you don't really get much farm, into now you're position 4. You're letting Synderen be the real farmer here, because he got a lot of kills, and that's the right way to do it. You're just a pest. There's nothing else you need to do here. General has been disrupting every single team fight Chaos has been trying to go for, with those cogs, with a hook shot, stopping the AA from being effective. I mean, Misery, this clock is the bane of his existence. It's been really, really difficult here for Chaos to properly fight thanks to this aggressive playstyle. And again, Naive from behind trying to kill Misery. There's no Ice Blast anymore for this team fight. Yeah, he gets it. Naive has the time lapse. He seems to want to keep on fighting. There's the Orchid as well, stopping Mars. It's all the team fight abilities gone. They are forced to buy back for the Ice Blast. Here comes Matoman with the Exorcism, but they get him with a hook shot. Stop Matoman in his tracks. The Cog's not quite good as Naive can't kill him. Those Cogs just saved Matoman. Naive just wanted to get the last hit. Finally, Mage bursts him down with that ball lightning. Now finding the Dark Willow, but can't stop this TP from happening. Those Cogs were questionable. Good play regardless of the hook shot. As Naive still hoping for that kill on Misery. The second kill has Diffusal Blade to stop him. Yeah, Misery, you're not going anywhere, buddy. Goodbye. Back to the graveyard.
Die back by Misery. Nice buyback from the Storm Spirit there. Mage comes back in the nick of time to really clean up that fight and get a real good juicy amount of kills on the back end. But what an awkward opener there. The Radiant Observer Ward to the northeast of Roshan, the smoke down past Roche, the two Radiant supports coming up here to pop the smoke and then immediately retreating. So Chaos felt they needed to retreat to high ground. The tentative nature of Chaos Esports Club right now, they're panicky almost. Because in that situation, if Mars throws down his ulti, maybe catches one or two heroes, but at least they start the fight off on their own foot. As soon as they start retreating, you've got Clockwork, Rocket Flare, Hook Shot, Crystal Maiden, Crystal Nova, Storm Spirit, Ball Lightning, Weaver, Shikuchi. The gap close and reach from Team Anti-MagE is so bloody long, so bloody fast. I don't think that once you see an enemy, you can retreat. You have to have these pick and play moments, basically like in Counter-Strike, where you see an enemy, you get a kill, and you have to move forward in CS into the bomb site, in Dota 2 towards Roshan, towards the actual objective.
I agree. AM, their mobility has been a huge asset, and we've seen this in the Storm buyback, right? That team fight, they lose Storm a bit early. Hey, maybe not the best positioning, despite Naive doing quite well by cutting their escape. And then immediate buyback, Mage is in doubt a second. Ball lining in, gets the kill on the DP. Quite important there, as it guarantees Anti-MagE the team fight, essentially, by murdering Matuma Man. Like, those cogs, but they try to catch the DP in it, which was the whole purpose of it, so...
It was fine. It still zoned Matuma Man away from the path of retreat, right? I think that the trouble is, Kezu just has to, like, you know, not to flame or anything, he has to press his buttons. Like, as soon as he sees an enemy, they're in a position of the game now where a kill is a kill. I honestly think that he's, you know, holding the ulti for that perfect ulti. He's trying to catch a couple of cores inside, and that may be what you need to do, but by holding on too long, you're allowing this anti-mage side to just close the gap on your heroes in the backline, kill off AA, and then once you lose AA, you don't have the full combo. You need Mars Arena, Terrorize from the Willow, and you need Ice Blast from the AA. All three of them have to be dumped into that arena with an exorcism going, and that's your team fight. If you don't get that, you're looking rough. You're looking real rough.
It's difficult because every time, like, Chaos is adapting, if you notice, their formation to each of the team fights, right? Before they lost Kazu, because they were kind of, oh, wait, the hook shot. I hear it, and the Clockwork's done. He's killed Misery yet again, General, but at the expense of himself and Mage. Arena blood use here, exactly what Gareth was talking about. They go from Matuma Man, they silence him up, and they need a stun. They don't have to stun. He's going to be able to TP back home. Syndra at least catching Kezu. They managed to stop the enemy offlaner, but he lost the Aegis there, and a Clockwork in the process.
Yeah, they get their spells in, they get their ultis down. It wasn't perfect, but they got them a couple of kills. Losing the Mars in the end there, not ideal, but he just gets caught in the crossfire. As again, this Storm and Weaver are able to close the gap so quickly. Your retreat plans, they are non-existent as Chaos right now. And I just want to go back to something you were saying earlier about the Clockwork. He really has transitioned from POS 3 into POS 4, right? You think about how Earth Spirit, Tusk, how Clockwork used to be played. He was a roaming position 4 hero, and then teams started realizing you could give them an early position 3 situation where they get to level 6 as quickly as possible, get that one item up, the upgraded boots, the urn, the bracer, whatever it may be, and then they just go in, they go in, they go in. They are your hammer, they are your sledgehammer in these team fights. They are brute, like General, this game, he has been brute forcing everything. I don't think he's got a single ounce of finesse in his body right now. He has been running at the enemy and casting his spells at the enemy for a solid 29.5 minutes, and it has been beautiful to watch. Whether or not he dies in the midst of it all, that doesn't matter. He's initiating.
It really doesn't, though, because if you're dying for the AA here, you're taking away the Ice Blast, as you mentioned. That's a big piece of the combo. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You're constantly breaking Chaos's formation. Do they lead with the Mars? No, because then Mars gets killed, and then you don't have the Arena Blood. The AA constantly gets hookshotted. It's like they just have a target on his back. This smoke, though, this could give him a bit of an edge. Chaos trying. This time they do have a bit more map advantage. And then with a counterspell, VT faded. They get the disruption out. Arena Blood. Much quicker this time. Syndra has to use the freezing field, silenced immediately. I don't think Syndra can do much, but Kezu is being torn to shreds. Syndra ends up going down there. 2 supports gone. Immediate buybacks as the bot lightning catches them from behind. Here's the mobility we're talking about. And Mage gets the kill onto the Ancient Apparition and manages to TP back home. No! The Mana Voice stops him. The hookshot's a bit too late. Naive trying to get the counter kill on VT faded. Not able to. Now dealing damage to Matuma Man. Thanks to the BKB, he's able to TP. Naive cannot catch anyone. So frustrated using that 8-second BKB for nothing.
Okay, so those paths of retreat, which I was calling impossible before, BKB TP.
Yeah.
Sick way to get away from team fights here. There's only one way to cancel BKB TPs, and that's the Clockwork hookshot, which General is always using to initiate. But just to go back on that fight, Chaos, they move aggressively, they pop the smoke with the Anti-MagE really nicely, getting info about that high ground. They fake back, basically, then they go in for the actual jugular. They charge forward, they get their spells in. Nice Terrorize offset from the Arena of Blood, catches 2 heroes on the far western side to kind of send, you know, Maiden and Weaver away from the battle. And they're able to pick off a couple of heroes. Chaos still don't feel comfortable, though. That was their big team fight. It didn't look spectacular, but they're back out on the map. Anti-MagE, he's making great strides towards his next items. That Basher or Abyssal that's coming next is most certainly going to prove problematic for the Radiant.
Oh, General, it's the cogs off. Actually, those cogs are magnificent now. They're gonna try to find the shrine, but General's already gone. Now you get hit by the Ice Blast. They're gonna go for Syndra next. Doesn't have freezing field anyway, so he's not really of much use. Syndra's down. And Naive is just hitting in the meantime. but they accomplished nothing. They need some of the catch. Naive is actually forced to back away with the Shikuchi. Chaos is starting to take these team fights properly. With a farmed AM, and they just... Naive's damage is not so relevant anymore, and the lack of catch is starting to show here.
Yeah, and there it is. Like I was saying, like the other 4 heroes, they've not been comfortable this entire game, but now the AM is comfortable. They start to become more aggressive, right? Now the AM has that BKB Skadi, he's tanky, he's difficult to bring down, and he's the one jumping on your back lines, dealing with the Storm, dealing with that Shadow Demon and Crystal Maiden, really nicely with counter spells to return back Frostbites and Disruptions. It's time to shine for this VT faded Anti-MagE, and with a Butterfly coming up next, it's going to be even more difficult to bring him to his knees.
Yeah, well, that's what's the problem with Anti-MagE until now. Not Anti-MagE, the team in this case, Anti-MagE, which is that they had all these great initiations. They managed to break formation, was fantastic, but like you mentioned, it was kind of chaotic. They did lose heroes in the process. You were not fully dominating. You need to transform that into objectives, and at one point, well, the Anti-MagE is going to start winning. It's just that simple. Naive did not go for the Midas build on Weaver either, so you didn't have the super early timing, even though you did go for the experienced time, or the experienced talent. And now Anti-MagE can still win these team fights for sure. But it's going to be a lot tougher bringing down this Anti-MagE. And even Matumba, man, who's tanked up nicely. Almost finishing up his Shivas. Now with that BKB as well, making a huge difference.
Scanning Roshan. A Radiant feel like it's coming.
And Dire are starting to do what they haven't done in the past, like, what, 20 minutes? Which is take the towers, take objectives, actually use VT Faded for something useful. It's their timing now. Thank God Anti-MagE, in this case the team, has a really good high ground defense with the Storm and the Shadow Demon. It's gonna be hard to break.
And the ability to cut waves as well. Like Storm cutting mid-wave, Weaver's able to get out across the map and cut waves.
That's how you beat them.
Still difficult though. Chaos holding this high ground. They've got the Shrine covered, they've got top and mid lane covered. Tier 2 mid is a very likely objective for them to go and take. And they've also got Roshan behind them as a backup plan if they want to go that way. So now it's down to Team Anti-MagE with General shoving bottom lane to create some problems down south. I just don't think that they care about their bot tier 2 enough to give up the position they're in right now. They'll just keep clearing top and mid wave, keep that pressure on the Radiant side, top half of the map, and try and force a fight. And so right now, Chaos are feeling strong, emboldened by their Anti-MagE now, with a Butterfly done.
Yeah, that Butterfly. How do you kill him now? The Weaver's no longer really a source of damage. He has to concentrate on Matumba, man. Anti-MagE can honestly tank up most of what they do. It's gotta be the Storm that just jumps into him, get a good Orchid without the counterspell on, and hope to burst him down in that time. He's close to level 25 though. Those auto remnants and ball lightning are gonna matter a lot when it comes to this potential high ground defense. It's now time for no more chaos for Anti-MagE, ironically. Oh, so many words here that are used for both teams. And they need to find these consistent team fights that work a bit better for them. Not general necessarily suiciding. No more trades ideally if you can. Put them in a bad position. Punish them. Try to set a trap perhaps.
They're not even close to that bot tier 2 either. Such a struggle.
They can't. It's just so difficult because Chaos is... They also put a really good pressure with the Anti-MagE helping the lanes, and they EP any second, right? Just come in, take your tower. Doesn't even need Exorcism. With the new Aghanims, you have such a good amount of tower push.
Yeah.
And they're actually...
Roshan respawns now. It's up.
Ice Vortex, we'll see. Oh,
Rocket Flare.
That was very well timed. Wow.
Both teams know.
What a Rocket Flare general, man. Whew. He's playing that Roshan guessing game that you were playing back in the SCA qualifiers.
Now, do they contest this? Like, top lane has double catapults on the tier 3. They're trying. They've smoked. Dire team knows this is coming. I think Roshan might just be dead before they get here, unless General makes a ballsy play.
Oh, General. And you believe in goes naive. Everyone goes at the same time, but the Aegis goes VT faded. He managed to fight this dirty arena, and everyone's closed in. But Synderen with a freezing field manages to zone them out. Everyone has BKBs, however, no more magical damage. Finally, BKBs are done. But look at Matoma and destroy, shredding DNZ. Now going for the second support. Synderen's down. All the supports have died. It's time for the core to start dying as well. General's the first to fall. MagE and Naive managed to evade this. However, they are not able to take away the Aegis from VT faded nor the Roshan.
And a cheese just dropped on the floor. Left there for a couple of seconds, but now you've just got Aegis on the AM, you've got Cheese over on the DP as it's handed over by the Mars again. And they're going to push up high ground. 3 heroes with no buyback on the Radiant side. Storm and Weaver, very unlikely to be able to defend this. Whoa. Anti-MagE is going for a kill. He's got the Storm. Hello, he's got him. VT faded, grabs Mage all the way back thanks to that Dar Observer Ward, watching the Storm farm ever so greedily. And now we might have to see Mage buy back to defend.
He has to. Oh, they catch Naive as well. They have a silence ready. They doesn't have BKB. They can still kill him. They can still kill him. He's so close. He's gonna survive just barely. DNZ saving him with disruption regardless.
Ice Blast. Ice Blast. Snipes him. He's got him.
Jesus. Well, that, I was gonna say that feels bad, man, but it does. It's just terrible for the Weaver. You need to have Mage now high ground defense using the ball lining plus TP tactic, I guess. Yep, cut the wave. There we go.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Man, that's your only. You only get one try. 80 seconds. Buy the travel boots and do it again. Oh, they do stop the AM actually TPing. It's an Aegis though. At least they'll get away as Aegis. That's a start actually. This is a pretty brand new Aegis. Good job.
Yeah.
Cut the creep wave again. 50 more seconds till that second TP trick.
Yeah, Chaos needs to get their other lanes out right now. Yeah, that's the second time the line's been drawn. Matu and Kezu have both been calling for this top lane to get shoved. Because they need that multi-lane pressure. They need to make sure Storm can't do this. Because now the creep wave is close enough. He doesn't need the TP necessarily just to clear the wave out. And he can't do it to multiple lanes immediately. They need that point of access.
Okay, Matumba Man uses the Exorcism. There's a Storm trying to give him a bit of space. They can't quite engage properly though. Matumba Man is out of mana thanks to Disruption Illusions. But they will still take those racks. Oh, rooted up. Can the Anti-MagE still die? Counter spell. There's the hook shot, stopping him from blinking away. They do catch Matumba Man in the backlands. They do get the arena blood out, but for nothing as VT Phase is fine to the death. Synderen's lasting this team fight completely. And they're still chasing after VT Faded. Disruption saved DNZ. Not gonna go down here. VT Faded manages to blink away. And instead the target will be this Dark Willow, but...
Oh, Misery.
Oh, it's gonna be Misery.
Oh, he
nope.
TPs!
Nah, Misery's too smart for them.
No way do they all survive that apart from DP.
Well, Matumba Man dying is pretty big. Right?
Yeah, it just looked like there would be way more catches. Naive is still looking for Kezu back in the dire jungle. No way to cancel the TP, though.
They need stuns, though. That's the problem. That's what we've been saying for a while. The catch, or the team fight, I guess, for Anti-MagE is not there. The Clockwork is okay team fight, but he's much more of a chaotic team fighter, right? He's not necessarily the Mars, which is much more consistent with his arena blood, zone everyone out. You have a mini arena with your cogs, but it's not even close to as useful. And your supports don't bring it either. That's another thing for Anti-MagE. That's why their early game was so good. Their single target's fantastic, but when it comes to the team fights, you need that way to catch chaos.
DP still has cheese as well, so even if they jump the DP, she's got secondary life there with a BKB to back up. AM with BKB Manta. Talent-wise is Mana Void cooldown and Blink cooldown, so it's very difficult to catch him, or even to fight into him when you've got a Storm Spirit, a Shadow Demon, and a Crystal Maiden. I mean, even Weaver has 1,000 mana pool. It's pretty hefty damage output from that AM coming. Right now, Chaos just got to wait out the death timer of the Death Prophet. 40 seconds for Team Anti-MagE right now to push out lanes and try and make something happen. But I just can't see, apart from maybe a Dark Willow or an AA, what kind of pickoffs they get. Kills are hard.
They are. I mean, how do you get the pickoffs is, I guess, the question. Do you... Okay. Are they really going to fight over a rune here? Apparently so. This is a pretty big fight for a rune. Arena's been committed. The Clocker might just die to this. In comes the Storm though. Mage wants to fight this. There's Misery gone. And they're going to catch Kezu as well. Kezu, BKB activated. They need to find him. They don't have enough damage though. He's going to be able to blink away. Kezu survives this engagement. BKB forced out though. Naive hoping to kill off this Dark Willow. Milan. Oh, he was taunting them.
Yeah,
he was taunting them.
I wondered for a second as well. Like, hang on, is he disconnected? No, he's playing with them.
He had the force step. That's why he was playing that way. I was checking for roots. I was like, I didn't know they had an area root there. Wow. Just dancing himself away. They do get the kill on Misery, but I guess that doesn't mean that much, really.
I guess force the BKB on Mars, which is, you know, a decent deal,
8 seconds.
But 30-second cooldown, he's all right. He's not too bothered about it. But we do have the Storm Spirit level 25 now. Auto Remnant is here, so his D push is drastically improved now. Incredibly hard to push into him. So it gets to a point now where Chaos, they require at least 2, if not 3 lanes shoving on the Radiant side to try and get a high ground push going. But very likely it's going to be that waiting game for the next Roshan. 3 minutes until fast spawn. Both teams will be aiming for that potential Refresher Shard or Aghanims.
What is better right now? I guess as Chaos, you would like to have a Refresher for the potential double Arena, double Exorcism?
Even for the double BKB on Anti-MagE, or double BKB Shiva's Exorcism on DP. It's probably better on DP.
Yeah, because you get double Exo in the process, right?
Double Exo, double BKB, double Shivas, yeah.
Even double Silence actually might be super useful sometimes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily one after another, by the way, before I get flamed for that. I understand they don't stack. Is this a fight?
Naive?
Yeah, Naive. He has no chill, and there's General. He shares his no chill. Silenced up, General could go down. No, Mage comes in, helps out General, gets that kill, going for Dark Willow next. However, VT Fate is fighting a one-on-one against Synderen. Synderen is just catching his attention, and that's VT Fate's BKB gone. As Kezu goes down, they do put the Terrorize onto the Storm. The Storm goes down to VT Fate. The damage is too much, and Matoman keeps everyone at bay with those Exorcism. Finishing off the supports, General is now on the retreat. They need to catch him. They have no more mana for the Blink. The last Blink there, VT Fate forced away with the Cogs. Naive gets away. There's no buyback on the Storm. They can't keep on fighting this, but they wish they could. Chaos will retreat with a couple kills. They're quite happy, especially with that murdering of the Mage Storm.
Yeah, DP with cheese. They try and commit. Don't get the full kill. Nice Terrorize as well from that Dark Willow. Able to open up the Anti-MagE to blink onto the Storm and find another grab after he'd already expended his Mana Void on a BKB Crystal Maiden. Barely missed out on the timing of that. But he's got full Abyssal Blade now on the Anti-MagE. So no longer is he reliant on any of his teammates. He can blink in, lock down any target he wants, and blow them off the face of the map in a matter of seconds. DT Faded, this game's all about you now, baby. Double damage rune up on him with a Moon Shard already consumed. He's going high ground. And with an Ice Blast as a Tracer forward, they probably just catch that Shadow Demon and blow him up. Blink forward. Nice disruption. Delays the inevitable.
Yeah, they do start on the Clockwork. They have a bit of time to kill VT Faded. There's the BKB though. He's unkillable now. Destroying General. They get the root off no doubt. Naive needs to some damage. They find him in the end with a hook shot. And he has no buyback. Chaos is going in though with the damage from the DP. There's no Exorcism. It's just the Ags doing this. Look at those ghosts go. Destroying a couple of Anti-MagE's heroes. Only Naive and now General bought back alive. But Chaos doesn't want to fight without VT Faded. Exorcism still back in 40 seconds. Never mind. Matoman is confident. Let's push this tower. Let the Ags take it down. Naive, what are you planning on doing? I mean, you're 2 against 4.
They know Weaver BKB's down, and they have Arena Ice Blast. Anyone who walks forward here from the Radiant team is going to die. They're going to get blown up. General, please.
General.
Be very careful with your life, sir.
Oh, he got rooted? Nah, they're not going to follow this up.
I thought he was going to hook shot there for a second.
You never know with General. I mean, he might be considering it now. General, I mean, with Mage coming back now. Nah, just not the award for a bit.
So AM blinked forward into a really nice disruption from the Shadow Demon.
Oh, that hook shot. They do find the Dark Willow and get a killer off. Nice Naive. That's a bit.
They've got a deep ward as well. They see the Mars. Nice. Kezu realizes what's coming. Blinks away. So yeah, the AM blinks forward, DNZ disrupts, messes up the initiation, but then the AM blinks again into the middle of 3 people under tier 4s, and a nicely timed Frostbite from Synderen's Crystal Maiden actually locked him in place long enough for them to get that kill. If the AM doesn't make that secondary blink, it feels like they just get the tier 3 and maybe even a lane of barracks there. So VT Faded getting a little bit too big for his boots, feeling more powerful than he is, didn't have BKB or Manta, didn't have Counterspell up in time.
And not saving up for the buyback as well, right? That's another.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't think Anti-MagE, not the hero, but the team had much time to actually push out and win there. But if they managed to catch a Matoman, for example, that could have been pretty bad for them. Chaos. Okay, VT Fade just goes in. That's an illusion, buddy. But they're gonna go for General. Easy kill on General. Just bring him down before they come on to you. And General still surviving this. Silenced up, but he gets forced half away. Matoman conjuring onto him. Matoman gets the kill finally. As the backlines, there's a team fight going on. They catch MagE! Destroying him a matter of seconds. He has no time to ball lightning away. Naive has to time lapse. He realizes there's no help from his team. He has the Shikuchi, but the silence catches him. That silence destroys him. They're not even gonna bother. VT Fair doesn't want that kill. Let Matumba Man take it. I think Anti-MagE, the team, is not looking good right now. Buybacks only on Storm and Crystal Maiden. I'm gonna try to finish this up. Chaos are tired of this game. 46 minutes, still already too much. Here comes the Storm. Cut the lane. There's another TP. He's ball lining away. Goes back home. And
Roshan.
Yeah. Safe. Safe.
Yeah, they just wanted to force buybacks there. They don't know whether or not Weaver has or has not got buyback. They can maybe guess because he's spent a lot of money on the, the butterfly coming up. But Weaver doesn't have the cash for it, even if he has the cooldown ready. So they'll go into Roshan, take the easy objective. Aghanim's upgrade there. I do wonder who that goes on. Anti-MagE? Dark Willow? I mean, DP already has one, so I don't see Matumba Man needing it. Who got it? Willow got it.
Willow got it.
We've got the Willow Shadow Realm machine gun. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Kezu walking past the gem on the deck has a cheese in his inventory.
Well,
and we've also got Refresher Orb on Matumba Man, so we've got double everything anyway.
Milan's not eating, or whatever you do with that. Oh, there it goes. So never mind. Sorry. I thought he might have been saving it for the Ancient Apparition. I guess you don't need that 17-second duration. Fights are not that long. What is backdoor protection but a suggestion?
He don't know and he don't care.
I mean, he's not beating it though. It's just like this eternal fight. Slowly.
For sure.
Never mind. Yeah. I was wrong. Turtle wins the race.
There's a double damage rune, but oh, if they go take that DD and then smoke back into where they are now. They don't have any vision though, which is okay, yeah. AM's already TP'd home to shove out bot wave. That DD's big for the AM, like really big. No, Dark Willow does have Aghanim Scepter. We'll see how this works.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna get to use it, right? Unless they engage now. I mean, DD doesn't last that long. They seem content to just shove out the lanes for now. Yeah, they're drawing the path in the bottom lane. Shove out the lanes, then go for a team fight once the creeps are close to the enemy base. Don't deal with the backdoor protection again.
Yeah, they've got, Aegis Anti-MagE. They can all sit, exactly where Pink is signaling. Sit on this high ground, play off the two ramps, play down from the high ground into the two lanes, create pressure on the bottom part of the map. Natural movement, Radiant are already set up top with Weaver and Storm farming offset jungle and pushing the lane with the Weaver himself. But they have to come back and defend. Like, they might just leave this bottom racks to go, but they have to defend their tier 4s.
They have to leave these racks go. It's a bit too late. Oh. Okay. Storm. Nope. Just playing around. Trying to shove the lane. But there's two lanes shoving in for Chaos here. VT faded, careful. That might have been a bit of a mistake. They take his Aegis away. There we go.
That's Soul Catcher.
Yeah, Soul Catcher surprises you. VT fade dope, links away. He's not going to caught a second time. Ideally, he disrupts himself, unfortunately. Wanting to get the solutions. VT fade goes in. DNC is down. And now it's time for those towers to fall. Exorcism ready for Matumba Man. And the tower is in trouble as VT faded is pummeling it. There goes General. And the arena's ready. Kezu uses it, but everyone has to be KBs anyway. But they do manage to find the Weaver with the Spear of Mars. Is the damage sufficient? Naive time on this last second. But that machine gun from Milan destroys Naive. Naive is gone for 100 seconds, and I think Anti-MagE is gone forever. Nothing.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, that was clear enough.
Yeah, when the Radiant team, their BKBs are down. Very low durations. The Dire throw their spells into it. Milan holds the Terrorize until the last second. They've got Ice Blast and Arena of Blood over the top. And Matumba Man just sitting there, not needing to press anything. His ghosts are just destroying everybody. Physical damage from those ladies, annihilating Team Anti-MagE and giving a nice victory there over towards Chaos EC, who now find themselves 2-2 in the group stage.
Well, Chaos quite happy with the comeback they've done in the group stages, honestly. They start 0-2, right? And they get 2 victories in a row. One against Anti-MagE, which is a mid-table team right now. So they're proving themselves. And what's the next game we're gonna watch today, Gareth?
Singularity versus Aachen City Esports should be our next game.
Oh, that's quite exciting because they're both top of the table as well. Singularity actually 3-0 right now. Let's see if they're able to beat Aachen City Esports, which is the next match, next best of 1 for these group stages. Stay tuned. Here at DSwordfish and Gareth, your casters. We'll come back with that next game shortly. Enjoy some of the beautiful Dota orchestral music while we wait.